Hey, this isn't starting yet, but
Welcome. It's 1:30 a.m. by the way, so I'm not gonna be very hype, but we're gonna have a good time with this episode. I'm really excited. I didn't even finish my intro. Okay, welcome back to the ReaLysst podcast. I'm super excited about this episode, guys. I think this is gonna be my favorite so far because I went in on the outline. So today we're gonna be talking about the real truth about being a content creator, not just on YouTube. This is pretty broad and can fit any creator basically on any platform. But if you don't know, which I'm sure most of you guys know, my main platform is YouTube. So a lot of this has to do with YouTube, but it also could fit in other platforms. Disclaimer really quick before we get started. I am speaking for myself when I talk, about the things that I'm going to talk about, but this does basically cover, this is pretty much how it is for every content creator in some aspect. So my goal today is for you guys to kind of gain a better understanding on what it's like on the other side of the screen, on this side of the screen, even though if you're listening, that doesn't really make as much sense, but you know what I mean. And also, if you're thinking about becoming a creator, this will definitely put things into perspective for you and help you, kind of come up with your decision. See if this, cut for you. I don't mean it like it's not that cutthroat out here, but Also, really quick, last thing, I promise. I put out an ebook on how to become a successful YouTuber, and I honestly wholeheartedly believe that if you follow the steps in that book along with a positive mindset, you will be set. I'm selling it on Etsy. I will link the ebook in the description of this episode and any further episodes, but I just want to let you guys know because I'm really proud of it and I love how it turned out, so I know that you'll definitely enjoy it. That's, of course, if you're looking to be a creator or specifically a YouTuber. But anyway, enough little announcements. Now we're going to get into it. So the first thing I put is, I literally titled it Walking on Eggshells with Hot Topics because I'm not going to lie, okay, I'm very blunt. So some of this is going to sound like blunt and that's just what it is. I just kind of say things how it is. So I don't know. Just disclaimer, don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? I feel like as of recently, I would say the past couple of years, like maybe 2 to 3 years, things got a lot more sensitive on the internet, specifically like audiences and consumers or content consumers, I guess. I feel like there's a lot of touchy subjects that would piss people off if they didn't agree or their opinions or beliefs did not align with you or whatever. But yeah, I just feel like in this generation, in this time frame online, there's certain things you just gotta walk on eggshells. I don't know. People be sensitive. And to an extent, I can see why, depending on what it is. But people be dragging it. I'm not gonna lie. Some people be dragging it. But as an influencer, I don't like that word. I don't like that word. I don't know why. I don't know. The stigma behind the word, I just don't like it. Anyway, as a creator, it's even more at the forefront of your mind. And if it's not, then okay, we could get into that anyway. But I feel like my brain is really scrambled right now. It is almost 2 a.m, so that definitely could be why. But I just get really passionate when it comes to YouTube and content creation and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to slow down and give it to you straight. So being in the public eye, you have to be cautious with what you say and how you say it. And I just feel I know cancel culture is real, y'all. Cancel culture is real. Your brand, aka you, which is your brand, you could literally be fine, everything's cool, paying your bills, getting views, subscribers, followers, whatever, and then boom, you say the wrong thing or it's misconstrued a certain way, or you say something kind of ignorant, which is not also with that word. It's I feel like there's a negative stigma behind the word ignorant as well, but ignorant literally just means you don't know any better, basically. So yeah, if you make an ignorant comment, boom, as soon as you do that, you're losing followers and you're gaining like almost a different perspective built on you. And it's not necessarily fair all the time, because depending on the situation, of course, half the stuff just be out of ignorance. And like, as someone who basically grew up and is growing up on the internet, I feel like everybody is entitled to changing their mind and like growing and believing in different things, changing their opinions, changing their beliefs. So when you say something online, that doesn't really go anywhere. And so it's remembered. Like, people gonna remember. People gonna hold that grudge for as long as they can. Like, as long as you let them, I guess. I just find it unfair, not gonna lie, because everybody grows, everybody changes, everybody's beliefs change. And so it's just like, I don't know, that's very frustrating. And that is something that you have to just kind of know and not expect, but just know in the back of your mind that that's possible, I guess. I said this briefly before, but like, you are your brand. Like, especially when you're a creator, your life and what you post about your life or about whatever your niche is, that is your brand. If your name is tarnished, your brand is too. And that affects more than what meets the eye. That affects more than just like your quote unquote character, but it also affects your money and sponsorships and brands. Like, they look at that. So, you know, if they Google your name and like some scandal comes up, you know, so it just affects, yeah, like business and brands working with you. Like I said, money, or even other creators, or just, it's just like, I don't like it. Anyway, we'll touch on personal life versus work life balance a little bit later, by the way. But another thing, this is pretty like, not basic, standard, I don't know the word, but just, it's pretty standard. Like, a lot of creators talk about this, I guess. But like, negativity from strangers on the internet, aka hate comments or hate DMs or hate posts and videos. I'm going to take a deep breath for this one. The only difference between content creators and content consumers is just that, like, they create content and they're documenting and posting their life, and you're like just seeing it. Like, that's the only difference between creators and non-creators, is that we create content. That's it. So, and like I said, like, everybody's human, we all grow and we all change perspectives and blah blah blah. So it's like, you're almost like subconsciously put on a pedestal by these people, just by having like some sort of status, I guess. I don't know if it is the right word, but it doesn't sound good. I feel like I'm still treading lightly, because I don't want nothing to be taken the wrong way or personally. But like I said in the beginning, I'm very blunt. I just say it how it is. I don't know, I got it from my mama and I'm proud of it. So yeah, like, just to be judgmental or negative on someone else's life is crazy. Obviously we know, or maybe we don't know, but I'm about to tell you. So we do all know that hate comments 99.9% of the time, actually I'm gonna go ahead and say 100, is just projection of some sort of insecurity or just misery wanting company. I've mentioned before in episode 1 of this podcast about confidence that misery loves company, and that shit is true. It is true. But yeah, like, everyone's a human being at the end of the day, regardless of status. Like, for example, the Kardashians, or artists, like music artists or actors, actresses, any sort of celebrity or just somebody in the public eye, like, it's like you're literally being watched. Obviously we know this, like, okay, duh, we know you're being watched, but it's like there's people that are out there watching you, waiting for a fuck up, and it's a lot of pressure. Like, obviously if you don't let it get to you, you don't let it get to you, that's good, but it's not that easy. Like, it's easier said than done. I've definitely grown to have some thick skin, even though luckily, and I'm so blessed to say that I don't really get hate comments like that. I really don't, and I'm so glad. But yeah, I just feel like you have to have some thick skin in this quote unquote industry. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. See, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, like, celebrities and shit, like, on the Shade Room, there's always somebody being talked about or like pointed out for little and big things. So it's like, obviously that comes with the territory, we know that, but still, like, it's just, I feel like a lot of people that just are quick to comment something or quick to point something out. Like, they don't really put that into consideration, or they just don't care and they already did. But yeah, it could just be stressful if you let it. As far as like my mindset and how I've grown to have thicker skin, I just want to like put this out there, especially for my future or fellow creators out there. It's not you, it's them. Like, any hate comment that somebody puts out, any sort of negativity somebody puts out, it's 9 times out of 10 internally first. Like, it's projection. It's literally projection. But there's so much more positive than negative, and that's, you know, really what creators as a whole should be focused on. Like, focusing on the negative will only attract more negative, and vice versa. So, but yeah, it definitely feels good to know that there's so much more positive than negative. So like, if you're focusing on the negative, of course it's gonna feel bigger and like more of a burden, I guess. But these people are just, there's some miserable people out there, and if you let them get to you and make you miserable, then their job has been complete and their goal has been achieved. So don't let them win. So this is kind of piggybacking a little bit onto what I was just talking about, but the people that be in your business, let's get more into detail about this. Okay, real quick. Drama, relationships, friendships, like all of that. It's people just be expecting to know about your life and like the details of your life. As a creator, you literally have like, I don't know how to word this. You literally have the power to post and put out whatever portion of your life you want. Like, if you don't want certain things on the internet, then don't post them. It's that simple. And that's exactly what happens. So I feel like when there's certain information that's being withheld, most likely purposely, from the internet, most people's audience, or I know mine specifically, gets a little nosy. And it's not necessarily like wrong or messed up or anything. I feel like everybody can be a little nosy. You know, if we see a car accident on the side of the road, we rubbernecking. We looking the other way. We seeing what's up. Like, I just feel like naturally a lot of people are nosy, and that's fine. I am too. But I also know my limits, and I also know if it's not my business, it's not my business. But I guess that's not common knowledge or common sense. So there just be a lot of intruding freaking questions. Like, intruding questions. So like, for example, say, because this happens to me literally every time I fall out with a friend that I've like been seen on social media with. If that friend is no longer in my videos or pictures or TikTok, whatever, live streams, anything, is, oh, where's this person? Like, what happened to this person? And to an extent, I understand, like, of course, people are going to ask. Like, you put that on the internet, like, of course, people are going to ask. But there's a line. And me personally, I'm very, like, straightforward. Like I've said, I'm very upfront. And so if I am purposely ignoring something, like, especially on live, when people comment the same freaking questions over and over again, you know I see it and you know I'm ignoring it, and you keep asking, like, that should be pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie, because it's not your business. Like, but like I said, like, to an extent, I understand, because like, I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you put your business out there, so of course, like, people are gonna ask, or like, don't get mad at us for asking. But going back to what I said, creators only put out what they want their audience to see. So if you don't know something, it's because we don't want you to know it, or not even like in a guilty sense or anything like that. It's just, if we wanted you to know, you would know. That's it. That's the tweet. Like, you would know, I promise. Same thing goes for like relationships. I personally will never like heavily put my relationship on the internet again. Not that I really ever did, but the less people see, the less they feel entitled to know about like details and certain stuff. That's just something that I've picked up on and noticed. But oh my gosh, there's 2 incidences or whatever, 2 friendships that was put online on my behalf and their behalf, and you know, we gained a similar audience after like that person or those people like stopped coming around on my channel. I literally was asked about these people for almost up to a freaking year. I'm not even being dramatic. Like, I remember, because this still happens to this day, about a specific like friend who I actually rekindled with. I'm gonna just say Divine. Me and Divine were really close, and we put our close friendship on the internet, and I like don't regret it, but I also will probably never put anyone on my platforms as heavily as I did, just because that shit gets annoying. And like, it literally had been like 9 or 10 months at one point when I still was being asked about like, oh, what happened to Divine? Like, I don't know. And it's just outgrowing people, which, by the way, that's what I said. That's what me and Divine said, but that's not really what happened. Again, it's not y'all business, but we have rekindled and we're cool, and the time apart was definitely needed. But anyways, people outgrow each other. It's normal. It's a very basic, normal thing in life. Very normal. But because it's on the internet, I feel like people just feel entitled to know reasons or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, like, it's normal to outgrow someone or to be outgrown, whatever. Like, it just is what it is. But it's like another layer of pressure, I guess, because it's on the net and people are like all up in your business about it. And theirs, like, they be bro, it just be a lot. Like, I literally will get DMs out of nowhere like, oh, hey, like, not that it's my business, but what happened? If you know it's not your, never mind. But yeah, same thing with like collabs / I like to call my fellow YouTube creators coworkers. I just think it's funny. I don't know. But like, for example, Azzy. Me and Azzy have been friends for a long time, almost coming up on like 3 years. She's also, if you guys don't know who she is, it's Aslea Williams on YouTube. I highly suggest to, check her out. If you like my videos, you'll definitely love hers. But back to what I was saying. I don't know. I just had to do a little promo, but no, not actually. She did not pay me to say that. But she lives in Miami and I live in Atlanta. So we obviously don't live in the same city or state, and we don't see each other and we don't post with each other, and we have before. So like, I think people just expected that like something happened just because they don't see content from us. But we talk pretty regularly, and like, y'all just wouldn't know that if we didn't tell you. So I understand. I'm saying y'all, but like, our audience wouldn't know that if we didn't say anything. Most of the time, there'd be no tea. Like, there's really nothing going on in the back end, but people just assume and like want to know, oh, what happened? Like, babe, nothing happened. Nothing happened. And that's just one example, but it's a lot. Like, just friends or other creators that are on your platform, people will ask about those people, like, oh, where's this person? And it's been like 2 days since you've seen them. Like, chill. Also, this is really random and specific, but this just happened to me today. I saw a comment and somebody asked me if I was pregnant. I'm not gonna say I'm offended, but like, damn. Anyway, first of all, no offense to this person, and I already kind of respectfully told this person, like, it's kind of rude to ask a woman if she's pregnant if she hasn't disclosed it. But again, that's just ignorance, and again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means like, some people just don't know better than to ask certain things. That was just random. I had to put that in because I was like, what No, I'm not pregnant, by the way. I'm not even, never mind. But yeah, there'd just be a lot of ignorant comments and like very intruding questions that most of the time would not be asked if they were standing in front of the creator they're asking the question about. Like, if you were standing in front of my face and you were to ask me that, like, what do you think I don't know. I just feel like people don't really think before they ask certain things. There's no way. But yeah, there's just like expectations that's set by nobody but them. Like, what? So next, this is about money, and I know money is like a touchy subject sometimes for some reason. That's just how it is for most people. So this is a little disclaimer. This is about money, but like I said, I'm very real. I'm gonna just say what it is. Like, I'm very authentic. It is what it is. Okay. But like, when you don't feel motivated, or like you feel burnt out, or there's some creator's block with creativity, but then like your job / passion pays the bills, that low-key be stressful. I'm not gonna lie. So recently, just being transparent here, the ReaLysst, okay? Recently, my mental health has not been like the best, and my priority of my spirituality has lessened, and I'm aware of that, so I'm able to say that, but I don't like it, and I'm definitely working on, changing that. But I've noticed like a slight shift financially. So I wanted to just be real and talk about this because this does happen and I'm experiencing this as a creator. Real quick, for those who don't know, like how YouTubers get paid, it's through Google it's through Google AdSense, and you get paid once a month, and you get paid based off of ads, which means it correlates with views basically. So the more views you get, the more money you get from ads. Plus, of course, sponsorships and promos on other platforms, which I don't do often. If you watch my content, you know I don't really do sponsorships often. But however, I did just get a manager, so I am starting to bring in more sponsorship opportunities, which I'm very grateful for. But just FYI, I'm very picky when it comes to sponsors because I really only sponsor things that I truly use and enjoy and consume, and I know that it's quality and I want to put y'all on. Like, if I'm not genuinely excited to put you guys on to whatever it is I'm sponsored by, I'm not gonna say yes. So there's like a slight feeling of pressure to upload, and this is more recently for me personally, and it just begins to feel more like work, and I feel like that shows in your content, in my opinion. I could be overthinking this, I don't know. I just be going real in depth with everything. Like, I'd be thinking about things on a way like bigger spectrum, I guess. I like to go deep into things and realize deeper meanings. I'm obsessed with growth. But yeah, it just like, I feel like when you're trying to force something, it's not going to take its natural course. And I feel like when I'm filming, knowing that I'm filming just because I need to freaking, make some money, it's stressful. So, and this is not recently, like I would say the past like couple months, but I am broadening my income sources, which I'm not gonna lie, I should have done a long time ago. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't look at this as a job, so like I really wasn't, like, I'm content financially, so I'm just doing what I love to do. I'm not really thinking about the next step, but now I am, and I'm excited. I'm manifesting a lot of things to come into my life, and we'll go through this journey together. But I just wanted to put that in there because that is a real thing. And even if you're not like a creator on YouTube, there are like even TikTokers right now. Like, TikTok is literally about to get banned. What are you gonna do? Like, you see a lot of TikTokers pushing out their, new YouTube channels and stuff like that, which I think is obviously very smart. But I also do always say, like, you're gonna be miserable if you start a YouTube channel just for the money. Yes, the money pays good, but it takes forever to actually get the money and to meet the criteria for the money. So it's like people burn out before even making a dime because it's a lot of work to get there. And I don't know, I feel like you could just see when content isn't genuine and when the main motive there and behind it is money. So like I said, we're gonna touch on the personal versus I said that wrong. Personal versus work-life balance that I was talking about earlier. It's so hard. That's it. That's the tweet. No, I'm just kidding. But it is pretty difficult. I honestly still don't have this down. But I'm in a constant caterpillar to butterfly type of stage where I'm constantly focused on improving and growing as a person. And self-discipline is my next big thing that I'm attacking. You can literally do anything you put your mind to, and I know that I'll be able to master this. But it's difficult balancing personal and work when your work is personal. That's very difficult. But I feel like I just started talking really loud because I got passionate for a second. By the way, if the audio is in and out or just not as great, I'm still playing with audio settings and stuff like that, so just bear with me. Every episode I'm getting better. So, but I tried to do designated editing days where I literally do nothing but edit and take breaks in between, but literally do nothing but edit and basically finish a video or get really close to finishing a video. But my attention span said nope, we don't like those. Sometimes I do lock in and just do it, but I honestly don't prefer it. I like to take my time when I'm editing. I feel like when I'm looking at my computer screen for a full day on one video, my creativity, it's not limited, but it's I could just do more or add more edits or think of different things creative wise through my editing if I'm looking at it at different times or different days, if that makes sense. My planner is literally 90% work and 10% personal life. I'm going to try to like paint the picture for you real quick, but like in my planner, obviously we have the calendar page and then all the specific days and like, you know, divided by week. You know how a planner is. I don't know why I'm going into detail about the wrong thing here, but on each day there's lines, but it's like split in half. So there's on the left side, it's just straight lines, like a couple lines, like 3 or 4 lines. And then on the right side, it's bullet points. So on the right side, I always have like my work stuff. Actually, if you're watching the YouTube video, I'm gonna just show you guys. I'm gonna just show y'all a blank one. Okay, the ones who are, you know, watching my YouTube video, you see what I'm saying. So it's like, this is where I put work on the right side, and then on the left side is where I put personal. When I tell y'all, there's most likely maybe 1 or 2 things, maybe 2 things on the personal side, and then there's like 4 things on the work side almost every day. But I literally be struggling figuring out which lines to put it on or to put things on. Like when it comes to my podcast, I classify that as work, but I also sometimes put it under my personal just because my personal needs some love. Like there's nothing over there. But yeah, like editing, filming, like that's pretty much all I do. And on my downtime, I'm like, oh, laundry. Like I'll put laundry on there, or grocery shopping, or like self-care, but that's literally it. Like everything else pertains. I don't know if that's the right word, but it like pertains to work. I think it is the right word. I need to be more confident with my vocabulary. So yeah, I don't have it down, but I don't mind it. I honestly don't mind it. Like it's more natural and authentic that way, I feel like. But I've noticed that like having a tighter, stricter schedule would definitely help me though. So personal time would feel more separate and more personal. But yeah, it's difficult to balance because it meshes. Last thing here we're gonna get into is sponsorship deadlines be stressful. So really quick, I'm gonna explain to you guys how the sponsorship process works for those who don't know, and this is with or without a manager. I was doing this before I had a manager, but a company or brand or somebody representing that brand will reach out to you via email or DM, most likely email. I've noticed that I've gotten a lot more, at least solid sponsorships through email, but they'll email you and they'll ask you, like they'll, you know, present their brand and their product that they want you to basically sell to your audience. And they either will ask you for your rate, which is basically how much you charge, and they'll say how much they want from you, basically, or not even money. That's not what I'm saying. Like deliverables is what they're called, or talking points, or not talking points. That's after you agree. But yeah, deliverables. Like, oh, we want a TikTok and a 30-second YouTube video integration, or a dedicated YouTube video, or 2 Instagram feed posts. You get what I'm saying? So then, you know, they ship you the product, they give you the talking points and the do's and don'ts, and it's not really a script, but it's kind of like a script. Obviously, I remain authentic and, you know, myself, but I do find, like, when I'm editing my sponsored portions, I have my business voice on and my business face on, but that's just how it is. I don't know. Anyway, that's basically how sponsors work. Now that I have management, I really haven't experienced this yet, like the stress yet, because they're pretty lenient, to be honest, but also like I get my sponsorships done in a timely manner. But when I was self-managed, child, I wasn't very structured and I was pretty lazy, to be honest. So like I would take forever with like working with a brand. Oh my gosh, there was one time, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, I don't know if I'm gonna tell you guys the amount, but there was like a good sponsorship, basically like a well-known brand, like a really good sponsorship opportunity that I got before I even had a manager, which I was so like, oh, I'm so proud. But basically it fell through because I took too long, basically, and that was really discouraging. But obviously everything happens for a reason, you know. And that after that, like I have never missed like a sponsorship or a deadline ever. Like I'm very much on it now. I don't play about that. Also, I feel like brands talk just as much as creators do, just as much as people do. So I don't know if there's like some list or something that like creators are on that don't work well with brands or something. I don't know, but I could imagine that there's definitely, you know, word of mouth with brands and influencers that basically don't pull through. So I'll be damned if I'm on that list. I'll be damned if I'm talked about in that way, you know, on behalf of brands. No. And mind you, you are also a brand, like as a creator. So it's like, you don't want to be like, imagine fucking Nike just doesn't ship your items just because like they don't. I don't know. That was like a random example, but you know what I'm saying. And don't even get me started. Oh my gosh. On them asking you for like edits and tweaking your integration or your sponsored content. It's literally back and forth emailing. And this was, again, before I had management who luckily does a lot of the load for me. But like just going back and forth, it could literally take weeks. And it's just kind of stressful, and it gets kind of stretched out sometimes, and it gets just like low-key annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh. But then again, it's my job, so suck it up, buttercup. I found that I just work better off of structure. Like, the more structure, the better for me. I get very distracted easily, but I'm very organized. I'm the friend that would like to know who, where, when, how long, how far, like, etc. I just like to plan. I also like to follow a plan, especially when it comes to sponsors. So luckily my management team is really good at that. They literally give me everything that I need to do, and it's very just planned out. So I feel like that's why I haven't really had any issues with sponsors or getting anything done in time, or not getting anything done in time. Yeah, like having a management team who takes care of most of the load, I guess, in the communication especially, it definitely helps me get things a lot quicker. Wait, what? I literally missed the whole word. It definitely gets me, no, wait. It helps me get things done a lot quicker. Thank you. Also, a bonus fact, just cause most brands don't pay you for like a month. There's such thing called like net 30, net 60, net 90. And basically those numbers just mean the amount of days after you have completed your end of the deal. That's how many days they basically say, like, that's their due date to pay you. And boy, fuck a due date. They literally don't, like, it's not like, oh, just before 30 days. It's normally around 30 days, like, every time. Like, they don't. So it's like you don't get paid from that sponsorship mostly. Some promos and other sponsors, you know, they pay you as soon as it goes up. But most of them, especially like the bigger brands, I don't know if it's because of like invoices or payroll. I don't know. Like a month after it's uploaded, you're not getting that money. It's so anticipating. Like, you get excited, like, okay, I finished this sponsor and like blah, blah, blah. The video's up. It's doing good, this and that. And then you have to wait a month. Like, that's just one of the cons, I guess. But yeah, that wraps up this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope this helped you gain a new perspective. And if you're interested in becoming a creator, or you already are, I hope that this helped you even more. No offense, y'all. I'm just looking out for my fellow creators. But yeah, don't forget to check out my ebook on becoming a successful YouTuber if you're interested. I'll provide the link in the description, like I said. Yeah. I will see you guys, or talk to you guys. How about we say that? Because I keep saying see you guys because that's my YouTube intro, but that don't make much sense on the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in for another week of the ReaLysst. I keep touching my freaking lamp. Sorry if y'all picking up on that, but I love you so much. It's 2:22 a.m. I'm not going to bed. I have to edit this. It's literally Friday night. Well, Saturday morning. And this is coming out in like less than 12 hours. Procrastination at its finest. It's okay. I work really well under pressure for some odd reason. I know I'm not the only one, but anyways, I'm talking like I don't have to edit 45 minutes of podcast. Okay. I love you. Have a great day, morning, evening, night, whenever you're listening to this. I'll chat with you guys later. And until then, bye.